When I think about it, only a handful of hack and slash games made me replay from the start as soon as I finished it. Those are Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, Devil May Cry 5, and now Bayonetta 3. And you know what? I never ever considered myself as a Bayonetta fan. I mean never. Both the first and the second title were around 6 out of 10 for me, and I literally remember not a single thing about Bayonetta 2's story and its progress. It was just a bit mediocre, I guess. Still, I was waiting for Bayonetta 3. I was curious after what I saw during its trailers, Bayonetta's design changes and whole concept, and I was right. Bayonetta 3 was such a fun experience from start to finish. Loved its gameplay, loved its wide variety of weapons, hack and slash flow that lets you do different combos, traveling across different universes, and much more. Right from the start, I'm gonna say it, it was a solid 8 out of 10 experience, and even if you're a Bayonetta fan or not, it is fun, action-packed, and has insane amount of upgrades, gameplay freedom, and fluid action. I'm not gonna talk about its hot mess of voice actors, I'm just here for Bayonetta experience and what it offers.
What was that about crushing? I think you'll find we're extremely game for that.
Just like either Marvel Cinematic Universe or recent game titles, Bayonetta also delves deeper into the multiple universe concept, where the bioweapon creatures called homunculi ravage universe one after another. The very first opening sequence starts with Bayonetta from the first title fighting and ultimately losing the battle against the leader of this homunculi. She literally dies at the hand of the leader, where we meet Viola, who is sent to another universe to prepare Death Row's Bayonetta for the homunculi invasion. Either call this a Terminator reference or call Viola as Devil May Cry's Nero or Trunks of Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't matter. This world's Bayonetta is lively and knows when to get serious. Our whole purpose is to travel through multiverses and beat enormous boss homunculi together 4 different Chaos Gears, so that we can open a path to Alphaverse to destroy the homunculi once and for all. Starting with our Bayonetta's own world, we travel to modern Tokyo, ancient China, vast deserts of Egypt, modern Paris to destroy homunculi, while meeting and also fighting with that world's own Bayonettas and Jeans through this mess. Multiple universes do actually mean multiple dumb mummies, and I know many of you will like this new approach. This kind of different level design and even atmosphere change is what I was literally wanting from hack and slash genre for years, and probably since I played Devil May Cry 4 for the first time. Starting with the cinematic fights in Bayonetta's world, the enemies, the level design, and also the puzzles change with each multiverse, and it keeps whole progress of the game quite fresh from start to finish. The only soul and the only chapter that I didn't like was chapter 8, and that is where the lack of budget or time for development showed itself, I think, a bit. After that, until the chapter 14, I had fun. In terms of fluid hack and slash experience and whole level design, it seems like Bayonetta studied a lot from Devil May Cry 5. Compared to prequels, Bayonetta 3 has around 11 different weapons and 11 different demons that Bayonetta can summon during a fight to keep up her combos and deal heavy damage. And trust me, switching from your own weapons to demons adds such a cinematic feeling to it. And in terms of cinematic fights, cutscenes and different level designs with different atmosphere, maybe it's time for Devil May Cry to learn something from Bayonetta also. It is probably time for Devil May Cry to add various maps, cinematic level designs and sequences to keep itself fresh, not stuck in an enormous tower that Virgil awaits at the top of.
If all this effort doesn't make for a happy ending, I'll have some harsh words for that girl. Even more so if she's not keeping an eye on Luca. For some reason, that kitty was scratching around in my mind. What has come over me?
My whole Bayonetta 3 experience took around 18 to 19 hours, tried to get every collectible, did every side chapter and also all optional battles within each level in standard difficulty first. Bayonetta can switch from 2 different weapons and she can literally summon 3 different demons quite quickly. Each and every demon has different combos and skill trees, they have different purposes, different utilities, and literally can turn this experience into a kaiju fight if you want to. Right at this point, I didn't blame Platinum Games for Bayonetta 3's lack of polish in visuals, but I think it's time for Nintendo to upgrade Switch hardware somehow, some way or sometime. I just wanted to play Bayonetta 3 without any hardware restrictions whatsoever, and I felt that the visuals could have been more charming. This time we don't just have Bayonetta with hairstyle of Cereza from the first title, but we have Tokyo Idol Bayonetta mummy, Chinese Dynasty Warrior mummy, Egyptian Pharaoh mummy, and also Arsène Lupin like Bayo mummy, and all of these variations can also be unlocked as a costume after their own chapters are completed. Although the same hack-and-slash formula since the first Devil May Cry still shows itself, there are many collectibles and optional battles to discover, and 3 different spiritual animals can be gathered to unlock a side mission. These side missions can unlock different weapons and different demons sometimes, but mostly present Halo currency to unlock costumes or accessories to grant passive abilities to either Bayonetta or Viola. I think among all chapters, Tokyo and China were my favorite, and least of all was probably Egypt, because of its frustrating quicksand sequences and Viola's boring Chapter 8 adventure. Besides that, after each multiverse sequence, we also play as Jeanne to reach a hidden, secret base that will lead us to Alphaverse. Her sequence is a bit weird or unorthodox, let's say, as she tries to stealth kill homunculi in a side-scrolling platforming level design. This Jeanne spy action might seem familiar in terms of gameplay, maybe like a Markov ninja whatsoever. Although the very first Jeanne spy action seems fine, by the second or the third time it totally loses its charm and leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth. I don't know why, but I totally dislike Jeanne from Bayonetta 3 this time. From her gameplay sequences to her design, I just didn't like her a bit. Besides that, although the whole multiverse concept and our Bayonetta getting even more serious with each destroyed multiverse and multiverse mummies, homunculi and villain motive is once again quite shallow. And I think even a villain version of Bayonetta idea would leave me with more satisfaction than this. It was weak and couldn't keep up with Bayonetta 3's sometimes cinematic yet action, fluid gameplay experience. Not just Bayonetta, but sometimes, depending on the chapter, we also play as Viola. She's a rebel teenage woman that wields a giant katana, can summon Cheshire from Alice in Wonderland. I quickly accepted Viola's character, her role in Bayonetta's story, and Platinum Games' new choice of turning her slowly into the new protagonist of Bayonetta series. However, my concerns lie by her gameplay style. So, normally, Bayonetta can do witch time that slows down the time when a perfect dodge is performed, right? But here with Viola, we need to do a perfect parry. And unfortunately, doing a perfect parry is not hard, but a bit off. It kinda goes against the whole gameplay flow and the rhythm of Bayonetta's hack-and-slash gameplay, I think. Bayonetta with a wide range of weapon and demon roster makes everything fun, fluid and cinematic, where Viola with only one weapon and only one summon quickly falls short. I really wanted to see Viola to improve a little bit during the story or gain a new weapon, but all she get was a devil triggerish move that can be done when her energy meter is full, and this ability only is not enough and satisfying, I'm afraid. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on Viola, but I just can't see any reason to play as Viola on side chapters or later on when there is Bayo with her infinite amount of fun and combos. Maybe if you're looking for some side challenge or really into Bayonetta's gameplay style, other than that, Viola makes things rougher and clunkier than it should be.
What?
Viola, that's coming out of your cut for this one. So's its kibble.
Okay. Let's dance, baby!
Bayonetta 3 is a fun journey. Depending on what you expect overall, you might hate the story or accept it, but I'm sure lots of hack-and-slash fans will love the large variety of weapons and demons, fresh level design with different atmosphere, and overall challenge that Bayonetta brought. As I mentioned before, both the first and the second Bayo was a bit mediocre experiences for me, but with the third title, it redeemed itself so much that I started playing on infinite climax difficulty and having so much fun. But again, I might replay Bayonetta 1 and 2 and prepare review contents for you guys in the future, or I might even tackle Devil May Cry series from start again. Or you know what, maybe Metal Gear Rising Revengeance will be the first. If you have any recommendations, write it down by the comments. I'll make sure to make a list for the future, and yeah, give Bayonetta 3 a chance, you won't regret it.